Do you ever just know something and not know why? Several times in my life, I knew things that I should not have known. I recall telling several people of a vision I had of a fax machine being connected to computers to transfer images over phone lines. Several years before that was a reality. I'm not saying that to pump myself up as some kind of visionary or prophet, but that just happened. And I'm not even really sure exactly why I shared that with other people, because I think it made them think that I was a little bit crazy or I had a big imagination. I also envisioned the use of mobile phones and tablets about 5 years before they really surfaced. And I don't know exactly where this information originated. I do have an imagination, and it seemed like often when I was a kid and through my adolescence that the books that I read were often kind of behind times and sometimes limiting. I also felt the language that we used was limiting, that the context in which it was used was possibly more important. Like how something was said was possibly more important than what was actually said. I'm Roach Mark Roach. Let's look deeper at how things work in our world, and maybe, just maybe, looking deeper will enrich your life. I remember whenever I was frustrated with my profession, being a petroleum engineer, and I went to an Ivy League school, and I was contemplating going and getting a master's degree. And I took a communications seminar at this university on the East Coast. It was a fancy school in Boston. And I remember them saying, people only remember about 20% of what they're told. And they also stressed that it was a lot more about how you said it than what was said. And quite honestly, that was what talked me out of going and getting an advanced degree, because I figured that if it didn't matter about the content that you were being told, and if you didn't even retain that much, then why waste your time and money? And then as a young boy, I recall being shocked when my mother told me that I didn't exist before I was born. I can still remember the moment that scene transpired in my life. And I remember the shock in my body. And it was difficult for me to accept. And although I respected her and the general narrative that we all live by, I really ultimately failed to accept that as being totally true. There were just so many exceptions, so many insights, and knowing of things that led me to believe that our bodies, this earth and planet, our environment, is rich with streams of knowledge and information and influence, maybe entangled particles like in quantum physics, as they're proving today, particles that were once together that have been separated, that know what's going on with each other at all times. That sounds a little woo-woo, but bear with me. Perhaps those entities, even spoken of by Rudolf Steiner years ago, could that be real? Well, who am I to say? I'm just reporting on what I've experienced and what I remember, and trying to piece all the bits and pieces together. And I realize that there must be a lot more to our reality than we know. And, to believe that we have it all figured out is certainly a dangerous proposition. So I thought it'd be interesting to take a short journey through time, exploring the tapestry of human achievement, where several different threads that I want to share with you represent a leap in our collective capabilities, often starting with disbelief and then ending in awe. Imagine, if you will, the ancient Greeks pondering the shape of the earth. Here was a time when suggesting the earth was round could get you laughed out or killed. Yet thinkers not only proposed that this madness, that they were trying to measure the earth's circumference, and they were doing it with surprising accuracy. And what was once a fringe idea that it was round became the foundation of our understanding of our place in the cosmos. And then fast forward to the Renaissance, where the printing press, invented by Johannes Gutenberg, transformed the world. Before this, books were rare, hand-copied. They were treasures. The idea that knowledge could be mass-produced, making learning accessible to the masses, was revolutionary. Suddenly, ideas could spread like wildfire, igniting enlightenment, fueling scientific revolutions, and democratizing information. What was once a luxury for the elite became a tool for the common man. Then came along the Industrial Revolution. With the gasoline engine as its roaring herald, the notion of harnessing the explosive power of gasoline to move vehicles was initially met with skepticism. Yet this madness led to automobiles, airplanes, and eventually space travel. The world shrank. Distances that took weeks or months to traverse could now be covered in hours. The impossible became routine. Electricity, too, began as a parlor trick, of curiosity. Benjamin Franklin flying a kite in a storm might have seemed like a folly to his contemporaries. But from this foolish experiment, we derive the power that lights our homes, runs our machines, and powers our digital lives. What was once a spark became a civilization-defining force. Consider the 4-minute mile, a barrier thought to be a limit of human physical capability. Roger Bannister breaking this barrier in 1954. It wasn't just about running fast. It was about shattering the mental barriers that mankind had essentially assumed were outside of their possible speed. And it showed that what was deemed impossible was merely a psychological frontier waiting to be crossed, because almost immediately many others crossed it shortly after the news got out that he had run a 4-minute mile. And then the internet. Oh, the internet. And I'm probably leaving out computers there, but let's just jump ahead to the internet. An idea that was vast and connected all these computers in the world, sharing information instantly. Well, initially this concept was met with derision. It was seen as a fantasy for tech geeks. Yet, here we are, with the world at our fingertips, where knowledge, commerce, and communication have transcended physical boundaries. The impossible network became the backbone of our global society. Mobile phones, once bulky, expensive devices for the elite, are now extensions of ourselves, connecting us in ways previously unimaginable. The idea of carrying a device that you could call anyone, anywhere, anytime was once science fiction. Now, it's a reality that shapes our social interactions, economies, and even our politics. And now, artificial intelligence, AI, once the realm of science fiction, where computers could think, learn, and perhaps even feel. And this concept, initially scoffed at, is now the forefront of technological advancement. AI isn't just about making machines smarter. It's about augmenting human capabilities, solving complex problems, from climate change to medical diagnostics. And what was once the stuff of dreams is becoming our daily reality. Each of these advancements, from the understanding of our planet's shape to the intelligence of machines, was met with skepticism, fear, and sometimes persecution. Yet each breakthrough, not only the naysayers were wrong, but also it elevated human potentials. I mean, they've not just changed what we can do, but who we are. Today, as we stand on the brink of a new frontier, perhaps quantum computing or interstellar travel, let's remember these lessons. What seemed impossible today might be the foundation of tomorrow's world. The collective capabilities of mankind are not just about technology. They're about imagination, courage, and the relentless pursuit of our understanding of our universe. So let's celebrate not just the inventors and the scientists, but the dreamers, the skeptics turned believers, for they are as the true architects of our future. Let's keep pushing the boundaries, for in doing so, we not only redefine what's possible, but also what it means to be human. Your uniqueness is ever more important now in these times. With 8 billion people on the planet, combined with the evolution of technology, of artificial intelligence and robotics, as we are mixing biology with technology, even implanting robotics with organ-like functions to empower robotics, we're on the brink of another new stage in mankind. I do find myself mirroring some of the ancient mystics and spiritualists to encourage you to look deeper, to find your uniqueness that cannot be enslaved by these evolving systems and efforts which should simplify and create an even greater ease in our lifestyles. But I fear this could be used to dominate the masses. Actually, to omit the spirit and soul of mankind, which has yet to come fully into our awareness. Our spirit, our soul, has always been operating in some way, maybe intangible and not measurable, but in some way to support our better lives. I'm Roach Mark Roach. All the best.